Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I'm Fred, Dish, Dinesh, various other names, and as Mike mentioned, I've known him since university back in 1987. Of course, these were some of the most informative days of our lives, when we had a first knowledge and adventure. And look at the noise as well. That's smooth. Well, we certainly had a thirst for something anyway. Before I get on to those days, I'd like to tell you a little bit about what has shaped and influenced Mike to make him the man he is today. I'd like to take you back a few years when Mike was a little younger than he is today. Although some would say he still doesn't look much over the age of 12. In his first years, Mike displayed an early initiative, or maybe he was just plain lazy, as he learned to walk by holding onto the back legs of the family boxer dog. This early initiative and fondness has shaped Mike, as the dog was called Bottle. For those who know him, he has retained his fondness for Bottle. And for dogs, of course. Mike, at a young age, learned he could avoid doing things by using his personality and charm. And if that didn't work, a little lie usually did. After a trip to Cook Camp, he managed to convince his parents that he suffered an allergic reaction whilst peeling potatoes. This outrageous lie meant he never peeled a potato again. His life and the family house. Fortunately for Mike, he did have a younger sister, Kaz, who did become the family peeler. I don't think she's ever quite forgiven him. As you all know, Mike has set up his own successful gardening business. He first showed a love of nature at an early age. When he was 15, his parents took him on a whole family holiday, during which they attended a Greek night, where all the drinks were included in the price. Mike clearly did not wish to upset his hosts by spurning their hospitality. When it was time to board the coach back to the hotel, Mike was missing. A search eventually found him behind the kitchen, comatose, head first, in the compost heap. He's had green fingers ever since. In his late teens, Mike showed impeccable taste. After an all-night party in Woodhatch, Mike got a lift home with his friends Kevin and Lester. Halfway through the journey, Jennifer Rush's The Power of Love, the cringe-worthy 70s love ballad, came on the radio. Mike, not being a fan, and people took this moment to hurl out the front window. Unfortunately for his friend Lester, the back window was open too. Lester's suit has never been the same. Whilst at university, I noticed Mike had a particular attitude towards fashion. He didn't really give a damn about it. During our second year, Mike had a favourite pair of jeans, which he wore on all occasions. In our student days, this wouldn't have not been unusual, but Mike managed to up the ante by wearing his favourite jeans for the whole of one term. People did notice a particular odour emanating from Mike, and it was only after his jeans could stand up for themselves, and indeed have a personality of their own, did we realise that Mike had been wearing his jeans for 13 straight weeks. He has been known as Crotty Pants ever since. As long as I have known Mike, he has always preferred familiarity to change. In fact, Mike, do you still have your Crotty Pants? This behaviour is evidenced more than any other time by his ability to chalk pit lane and talking. Soon after university, Mike and 3 friends moved into a house share. Over the next 11 years, as time changed, the wallpaper curled, the bathroom became ever more grimy. Mike continued to live in exactly the same room. I have never seen a more settled man. It took a strong-willed woman to get him out of that. But even Charlotte, with all her charms, does he manage to drag him 30 doors down? Mike and Charlotte met while they both worked at Coroni about 7 years ago. Mike's always attracted his fair share of ladies, but he was a beautiful, feisty. However, Mike's courting skills may leave something to be desired, as within days of the relationship starting, Charlotte was hospitalised several weeks. I certainly remember it being a shock to Mike's system, so much so that he bought Charlotte flowers for the first and only time in their relationship. Fortunately, Charlotte made a poor memory, managed to overcome Mike's unusual women skills, and has blossomed ever since. Before I finish, I'd like to give Mike some advice on what other people thought were the ingredients to a long and happy marriage. I'm not exactly qualified myself. Firstly, set around an established shoes boss, which in your case, Mike, is Charlotte. Secondly, never be afraid that Charlotte will leave you. She spent the last 7 years training, never going to throw it away at her. Plus she knows the kitchen will never get finished either. And lastly, whenever you're wrong, be a man about it and admit it. Whenever you're right, just say nothing. As they say, a man who gives in when he is wrong is a wise man. Who gives in when he is right is married. Joking aside, the feeling that you get when you realise you met the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with is a very special one. And we're here to celebrate that with Mike and Charlotte today. Long may it continue. I'd like to finish by saying what a great honour it has been to be best man today. As I've said, I've known him for many years, and the time he has spent with Charlotte, I know have been the happiest of his life. They make a wonderful couple, and have worked tirelessly together to set the lovely home for Ashley and themselves. I know they're going to be fantastic parents to their impending new arrival. So, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to invite you to stand. I'd like you to raise your glasses in a toast to Mike and Charlotte and wish them for the future. I hope they enjoy a long and happy marriage together. The new Mr. and Mrs Welch.